the what we call the delay of gratification is an art. It's an art to say, I want this, but not now. Yeah.
Mm.
It's people buy things on credit because they want it now, right? They don't want it in 6 months or 1 year. They want it now. And fair enough, the future's unpredictable. You might be dead in 6 months.
Mm.
There's a certain unknown element to it. So I can see why people do that. But it's not a very productive thought to think, well, I might be dead in 6 months. So it can lead to a lot of um, um, future problems that people are unprepared for. But it's something that parents need to look at with their children. This idea of delayed gratification. It's we see it in society with things like Christmas, yeah, where children want certain presents and they have to, in Western society, wait until Christmas. You're teaching the children to wait. It's like, okay, you have to wait, right?
Mm.
You have to wait, not now, not right now, not today, but and there's also a positive side to doing things now, but um, there's a very old saying: good things take time, right? There's a difference between slow cooked food and microwaved food, right?
Mm.
Right? You can microwave your food and have it hot instantly, but
Mm.
but is it as good as when you slow cook the food? Does it taste as nice as when you slow cook the food? In my experience, the slow cooked food is better quality and tastes nicer than having it microwaved. So um, the good things take time usually, and yet because of Amazon and eBay, we want to order things and get them tomorrow. Speed, business, right? Whoever's first with the deal,
Mm.
whoever's first with the offer, whoever's first with the product, whoever's first with the delivery, whoever will do it fastest, whatever internet speed or connection is the fastest, whoever responds to emails most quickly. These things kind of make differences in the business world.
Mm.
Um, so um, time is always a curious and relevant factor in those areas. So it's not just time flies; it's your life, and your life your life flies, and it's having children brings more things into perspective. I cannot imagine what it is like to not have children and to not um, be aware of the importance of the
Mm.
processes involved in being a parent and uh, and watching children grow. It's um, it's something where things will only get faster and faster and faster, and like my son physically picked me up last week,
Mm.
right? He physically picked me up off the ground.
Really?
Yeah, and and I was like, oh, okay, that's strength, and we have to, as parents, pour our power and pour our energy into into our children as much as possible. And perhaps that's why parents get so tired, and why, as we get older, we get so tired because um, you know the, the the cup that is our life, we have to pour it into the children's lives,
Mm.
and that's time, attention, focus, energy, and a lot of a lot of other things as well. And having children around always reminds you of what's good,
Yeah.
because people can very easily lose their way in life, and we're all able to persuade ourselves that whatever we do is right. It's one of those crazy psychological aspects where nobody ever believes that what they do is wrong. You know, everybody persuades themselves that their actions are the right actions, and you know, there's a um, there are certain strong philosophical and religious arguments for what is better, but
Mm.
everybody thinks that what they do is right, and it's really hard to realize that maybe some things are wrong. And when you have children, you get to focus on the important elements of all of that. Um, Whatever you do, your children will copy you, good or
Yeah.
bad.
Yes.
Good or bad, they copy all the good things and all the bad things. So, the message to parents is you better be good, right? Yeah, and that's why parents need to be super careful about which
Yes.
school their children go to and which children their children play with and hang out with, because whatever the parents tell the children, the children will tell the other children, and not everybody is focused on that important area of life, and not everybody sees those differences. And remember also that many people live in just one place. It's that triangle of life. You got
Yes.
your home, your work, and whatever social activity or shopping, or
Mm.
whatever gets you out of the house, right? Your sports or your hobby or
Mm.
whatever, right? And life is a little triangle or a little square of these activities, and most people only experience it in one place, and it's it's really it's a mind trap, um, because of course almost anybody can go almost anywhere as long as you're not in
Mm.
prison, um, and and people seem to limit themselves for whatever reason. I'm lucky that I've lived in a few different places and I've traveled a bit, and I definitely can see the difference between um, um, how you see things differently when you travel and live in
Mm.
different places, because it just change the place where you live and every single habit has to change. You've got to
Yes.
do everything in a slightly different way, and it helps to be flexible enough to understand that. And it's also really good for kids. You know how good it is for your daughter to have these two different experiences of these two different places and these two different sets of people and these two different habits. It's a really good thing, because if the child can process in their head, there's these two things that maybe should be the same but are different, the child will
Mm.
automatically then start to think, I wonder how many other different ways, how many other different places, how many other different things exist. And uh, and that's not something that you can really teach a person, because it can only really be experienced. And it's the being in different places that causes the child to, or sparks in the child's brain, this understanding of different things in in different places, and how things don't have to be done exactly
Mm.
the same way. And that's essentially a good thing. Also, what you pointed out about children learning from other children and learning from maybe older brothers and sisters, this highlights to an extreme extent how all learning is a vertical process.
Mm.
You can't highlight that enough. All learning is a vertical process.
Mm.
It's like a ladder. All learning is a ladder. And you can't climb the ladder when you're stuck in the same classroom with the same people,
Mm.
having the same experience. You can't climb the ladder. It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible in a horizontal learning environment to grow. And, um, children discovering language that they maybe shouldn't use is experience of what is essentially actually a good learning process, because it's a vertical process. It's used in a bad way, but it just highlights the fact that we need to try to use it in a good way.